Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗚cynthia DeFazio. I am joined today by Kristina Ping-𝗵𝗵𝗃 and Rob 𝗵𝗵𝗃 of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. Today we're talking about even the best made plans can sometimes fail. If they do, what happens? What do you do? Kristina, how are you?
Fantastic. How about you today?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
Awesome.
Rob, how are you?
Since you're doing fantastic, I'm doing fantastic too.
Yay! We're all doing great. Well, this is a very important show because obviously we know that the best made plans can sometimes fail. So what happens when that happens, Kristina, when your plans that you've set in stone all of a sudden aren't really set in stone any longer?
I'm actually going to put you on the spot for just a second with this one. I know with your extensive real estate experience, there are a lot of people who plan to do something, either buy, sell, whatever it is with their home. What is the worst that you've seen that a plan just didn't go at all like it was supposed to?
Oh, that's a great question. I think honestly with the market right now, the most important thing is you have to be willing to pivot. I read an article last night on Forbes magazine that said that people today, the sellers want last year's prices. The buyers want next year's prices. So for me, the ability to pivot is so key and so crucial. So I would say most people just need to be having an open mind right now about the change.
You know, I think that when people are talking about their plans, they have in their mind that it's just going to be one set way. Folks, I've seen plans fail very quickly right after they're made, and it has nothing to do with the failure because of the plan. It's because of the outside elements. What are all of those perils in retirement that could end up costing your plan to just completely derail? So the number one thing that I see is going to be health. When your health fails and you have a major health situation, maybe ending up in long-term care or something even more so terrible, folks, that's what derails these plans the most. And I think that a plan should actually be fail-proof because you need to be able to pivot again to be able to shift that plan if some changes were to come along. So
sure.
You also see people that have HVAC problems, roofing problems, things like that. They're going to be unexpected expenses that they may have. We talk about those things. That's the very first thing we talk about when we're gathering that information is what big expenses, new cars, new roofs, HVAC, whatever it may be. Maybe you have, which we're running into, grands. We're ready for grandchildren. Maybe we have a couple new grandchildren that we're going to go and spoil the heck out of. But we need to be able to account for that.
Sure, that makes sense. What about things like graduations and weddings?
Well, I think that all of these life milestones can actually relate to each other, but I think retirement is probably the biggest one. When I think about all of the amazing milestones in life, probably the one that made the most impact in my life was when I became a mother. That feeling that, oh no, I'm completely responsible for this human being. The first time that you're just alone holding your child, gosh, it's like this fear and this amazing bliss all at the same time. I hear a lot of people that say that retirement is very similar to that because you know that you're turning off your paycheck that you've been used to for most of your life. You work for most of your life and you're turning on a distribution from all of your savings. That is such a big deal when you make that shift, make that change, and what an amazing milestone.
It is when you think about it, and I love the way that you just described that, obviously, working your whole life, getting a paycheck, let's say, every 2 weeks, then all of a sudden, you're responsible for paying yourself in essence.
Yes.
So how do you help determine, number one, people, their income sources, if you will, taking those income sources and constructing it into a plan that's going to last for retirement?
Well, the first thing is when I see spouses together, it's very normal for them to not be on the same page. And I know sometimes my husband and I are not on the same page with things. I spend way more money than he does, and I'm fully aware of that. So, I mean, I see a lot of spouses that'll come in and maybe their spending and their savings habits do not align. And so when it's time to start spending a little bit more careful because you don't want to run out of money, and then how did you save? They don't normally look the same. So sitting down and putting it all together is going to be a really big deal. So number one is going to be, what is that need bucket? What's that first bucket that you need to make sure is going to be covered? All of your, obviously your food, your fuel, your utilities, and we want to make sure that you're taxes and insurance and, of course, medical expenses are taken care of. That's just what you need. Then what do you want? Do you want to travel? Do you want to enjoy maybe a new sport or hobby or something like that? What does that look like for you in the want bucket? And then, of course, there's going to be emergency. We want to make sure that we get over that curse. There is some curse, Cynthia. When people retire, it's like their refrigerators and dishwashers and washing machines just want to act up horrible.
So the appliances are tired because, well, basically the people are retiring, so why not retire as well?
Exactly.
I mean, really. Oh my goodness.
A fun experiment too for you to do at home is before retirement, even well before retirement or even after retirement. 2 pieces of paper. Each spouse does individual things. Write down your list of expenses, your list of wants, your travel plans in retirement. Where do you want to go? What's your bucket list items to go do? And at what time frame? And then give them to each other and see what track that you're actually on. What do you want to do that's in common? How can you get to be in common with some of the things that you want to do? Because that's not always going to line up.
That is true, and Kristina is laughing. So she's thinking of something.
It's just awesome because it's never the same. It's not even the same in our household.
No.
Do you have any clue all of the bills that are being paid every month?
Well, I do, because you give me a list of the stuff that gets paid, and
Do you look at it?
I look at it. I do look at it.
Nice.
I do. I do, and I cringe every time I see it. So it's probably good that I'm not the one writing the checks for those.
It's a good thing you don't see the Costco spending. Holy cow. You would have a coronary
In my defense,
there.
I'm the one that goes to Costco, and I'm sorry about that. I'm a very impulse buyer when I get out there. If I see a bag of chips that I've never had, I want to get them.
You know.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let's talk about the 3 financial phases. What are 3 financial phases that people are in?
I love talking about this, folks. So first off, it is said many different ways. And inside of my book, The Retirement Train, we do have the 3 financial phases. And when I think about how you're going to start saving, how you're going to conserve, here it is right inside of the book. So the 3 financial phases here. So I describe it as contribution, conservation, and then distribution. Some advisors will call it accumulation, preservation, distribution. So we've heard it several different ways. We've seen it like a mountaintop and then coming back down the mountain. And then we've also seen it kind of like a football field getting to the goal. All these different ways that we describe these 3 financial phases, what we're looking to show you is that during the first financial phase, all of your contributions are going to be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. For some people, your 70s. You can contribute to IRAs for the rest of your life now as long as you have an income. They removed that age limit. And then it comes to preservation. Preservation of wealth is so very important. I don't know about you all, but I think about when I actually earned something and I want to hold on to that. I don't want it to be wasted. So I think about, what if there was to be a really bad market turn? Am I good to let some of that money go, or is it time to start being more conservative? So that's when you really have that conversation, your 50s, 60s, and especially in your 70s and 80s, about conservation and your risk tolerance. Then my favorite phase, distribution. Distribution or decumulation is when you're in retirement and you turn off the paycheck and you turn on a stream of income from your retirement savings. This is a very complex transition, folks. When do you turn on the money that is pre-tax and start paying those taxes? When do you start your Social Security? How is all of that going to flow together? It's a very complex situation. I love putting that puzzle together.
I know you do. And Rob, you and Kristina have a very special offer to present. Let's talk about what that is.
We do. Folks, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to picture me showing up to your work on my first day to do your job with no instruction. How do you think that would look like? How do you think it would look? Or me trying to teach myself how to do that position. So it's going to be challenging and it's not going to go so well. So why would you try to do that in retirement? We're here to help. We've been doing this for a long time and we're happy to help you. The only thing it costs is your time and your gas money. Come in and see us. We would love to help you. We would love to meet you and learn about your family. 877-893-5099, or you can click on that QR code at the bottom of your screen.
Rob, thank you so much. Kristina, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call, 877-893-5099. We know that you have a lot of questions for Kristina and Rob about how to plan your perfect retirement. They have the answers for you. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on Your Powerful Legacy TV, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about time with your professional. What does that feel like? What should that feel like when you're talking to a financial advisor? Stay tuned.
Well, before we even meet the client, we do set expectation of the information that we would need to make the most of our time together. When people come in, I never know how long an appointment's going to last. Sometimes it could be 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes it could be a couple of hours. We're based in Kentucky, but we do service that Kentuckiana area, so our Lexington and Louisville firms. Well, Kentucky is home. Most of you that know me know that I was born in northern Utah, so I've been in Kentucky for almost 30 years. It's home and I absolutely love it. Lexington and Louisville are very different. The people are different. The demographic is very different, but there's one thing that is absolutely similar, which is people are just wonderful. We get to deal with so many amazing people and I meet a lot of amazing people in this career, so I'm very grateful, very blessed. The big box firm just reminds me of that, a big cardboard box, just not really anything special, kind of like you must fit in that box for things to work. And one of the things that I really love about my own company is because it is woman-started, woman-owned. Women rule the world. Let's not ever make this mistake of thinking otherwise. Ladies, we got this. So knowing that women are making the primary financial decisions and that women live longer, I think that there's just more of a natural attraction to the fact that I can sit down, woman to woman, make sure that you're going to have an amazing, lasting rest of your life.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I am joined today by Kristina Ping-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. A great show we're having today, talking about important topics always surrounding planning for retirement. But obviously, time is priceless. It's precious. So when someone is coming in to sit with you for the very first time, what does that feel like, sitting with a professional? Kristina?
Well, the first thing that I see is that a lot of people are stressed. It's not a root canal. You're going to be okay. But I see that stress just, I'm nervous about this. What is this going to look like? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to have enough? Am I on track? And then as we start going through the information and getting to know each other a little bit, I watch the stress melt from the shoulders. There's nothing special other than you're just receiving information. This is just the first step. After that, I'll take it from there. Let me gather the information and let me make sure that I can let you know, are you on track, yes or no? If some things need to be corrected, getting a professional to give you that information, folks, it's priceless. Think about this for just a second. How much should you be paying a financial professional? How much are we worth? There's no offense. I've asked this before in an actual public seminar, and one guy raised his hand and said 5%, and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. I know some people that don't even want that for their risk. And then I've heard others that say, $100 a month or wherever it may run. Having that conversation about how much a professional costs and why they're worth it, have those difficult conversations. If they start squirming in their seat and they don't want to tell you how much it costs and why they're worth it, you're with the wrong one. Yeah. I know that's kind of pulling the curtain back there and letting you see what's going on, but I want you to have that feeling and know exactly what to expect from that professional.
We value when we look at your information, we look at your money, obviously. We have to look and kind of figure out where to go with that. But we equate your money to your time. You've spent a lot of time accumulating this money and this wealth. And we take that into consideration because we respect that time that you've put into it and want to make sure that we put the best strategy in place for you.
And how long does that take to put a strategy together for someone?
There is absolutely no way to peg that one down. I mean, we normally will set aside our regulatory appointment time slot of an hour. Some people it's 30 minutes, some people it rolls into a couple of hours. It just depends on how extensive this planning is going to be. For some of you folks out there, we've got to go even beyond the planning that's within our firm at the moment. We do have powerful partners that will help us if you need some extra help on taxes, will, power of attorney, medical attest, a trust, maybe some Medicare supplement specialties. So making sure we can get all of those things together. You can get all of those things in one place. Sometimes I'm the coach, sometimes the quarterback. It just depends on what we're doing. But it just depends on what that person actually needs, and no situation is ever the same.
Okay, all right. Rob, is this ever a situation where someone can do on their own?
Well, if they've had the education and the experience to do so, maybe, but if they don't do it on an everyday basis, they don't see the new things that are going on in the world. They don't understand the different tax brackets. They don't understand exactly how to fit anything new that's went on. And there's been some changes in Social Security. There's going to be changes in the future. So you're going to have to keep up with a lot of information, and you're going to have experiences that come along into your life to be able to understand how you need to equate that into your strategy.
No way. That's the answer. No way they can't do it on their own. I get to be around some of the most amazing world-class advisors. Do you know that some of these people that are just so wildly successful ask my opinion on things? We're all talking amongst each other. So if we're talking amongst each other to make sure and give the best for you, do you know what to do if you're not inside of that realm on a regular basis? I mean, I would never walk into a hospital and say, okay, I'm here to check in and do my own brain surgery. That's not going to happen.
Right.
And this is very complex. If you don't get it right, you risk running out of money in your lifetime. That's serious.
Absolutely, it is. You're talking about a lot of team of professionals. Let's look at that even further. Do we want CPA for taxes? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, I love our powerful partners. One of the things that I feel like is such a great privilege as we have built this is absolutely intentional. We're all very like-minded. What you should expect is to feel a team surrounding you that is all in to make sure that you are going to be successful. That's what we're after. And because we all communicate with each other, it all comes together. That's the part where I think a lot of people are missing some pieces. Maybe they think, I don't need a will. It's no big deal. You know, I have a beneficiary on my 401k or my bank account. That's not true. What about everything else? You know, what about this collection of Beanie Babies that you had your whole life and you've got to pass it on to somebody? I'm just teasing. It is very important, folks, to have these legal documents in place, and having our attorneys help you take care of that. That's just another one of the services that we offer. And I really love that we're doing things the old-fashioned way. You know, as soon as people come in, they realize very quickly that we're different. A handshake still means a lot these days. And I know that that's kind of gone by the wayside. So come in and see why we're different.
The concept of the one-stop shop, Kristina, why did you realize that was important to have? One-stop shop for all your clients' needs.
Well, the first thing that I think about is, what about someone who is not able to go to multiple places or doesn't know where to turn next? And what it really boiled down to is, I don't think any professional starts their career and they know everything. There's no way. I know I'm learning every single day, and I look forward to learning more in the future. So as I'm learning from other professionals, I realized my clients need this. So I started forming those partnerships. Well, then I'm also their partner. So they call me for things that their clients need. And that relationship has just really formed. But how does it feel for the client? It feels priceless. I hear a lot of people that say, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have just this one stop, because I can't find everything else that's missing. And that's what I'm hearing a lot from those big box firms. You know, they're like, I just walk in and it's Dairy Queen. There's only vanilla. Well, we are not. We are like the 31 flavors. We've got several things available and all the sprinkles and everything else. So we want to make sure that you're going to get everything that you need, but also have those options. I think that's important.
I do too.
We look at also the situation where, you know, we had somebody that didn't specialize in Social Security, advise somebody to go ahead and take their Social Security at 62 while they were still making way more money than they should be while drawing Social Security. Well, just by spouting that information off, that may not have been the best thing for that person.
It's true.
We want to take everything into consideration for you, and not everybody does that.
Kristina, you and Rob have a very special offer to present. Let's talk about what that is.
We do. Folks, it is our pleasure to offer you a complimentary written retirement plan. I know that this is worth a lot of money, so when we say the word complimentary, some people are like, wow, why are they doing this? It is our pleasure. It's our blessing to be able to give this to you. And I know that it is going to be very valuable to you, just like it is for us to give that time. And folks, when you come in, you're also going to get a complimentary copy of the book, The Retirement Train. I know you're going to love it. It's just another educational tool to help you learn a little bit more as you're beginning or maybe in your retirement journey. So let's make sure you're on track. Come on in and see us. let's get you that complimentary written retirement plan.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call is 877-893-5099. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years, and you deserve to have the retirement of your dreams. Do you have a plan in place? Do you have a holistic written financial plan? If not, this is the perfect time for you to take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Just call in 877-893-5099, or go ahead, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services landing page. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. It's our favorite time of the show. We get viewer questions next. Stay tuned.
I've yet to see someone come in and they actually have a full plan or strategy in place. That's just not happened. I get so many that'll come in, they'll have this big binder with charts and graphs and all these fancy items. Truly, I can ask a couple of small questions like, well, what is your strategy for your required minimum distribution or your taxes? It's not there. How much is your income going to be next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? They honestly can't even tell me the answer. That's why they don't have a strategy. We're going to talk about everything. All the things that you don't want to talk about. Politics, religion, taxes, obviously money. We're going to talk about all those things very comfortably and very happily. I think that today we're in unprecedented times. Everyone who comes in gets a copy of my book, The Retirement Train. It's completely different than any other book out there. It's an easy read, it's fun, it has amazing information that's easy to understand, which is important. You're not going to come in and get that corporate mumbo jumbo, a bunch of abbreviations that you don't understand. You're going to feel very well informed. You're going to feel like someone cares about you, because we do. That's one of the things that I feel like is the greatest blessing, is getting to care for other human beings and show them how we care by giving them that information. Whether we choose to move forward in business or not, people are always very happy, and that's the essence of what we're looking for.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗟ciaých, and I am joined today by Kristina Ping-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. I love this part of the show. The viewer questions, we get an opportunity to see what people are thinking and feeling and what they want to ask you. So Rob, I'm going to send this first one to you. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Rob and Kristina, I'm 70 and my kids want to take over my finances, but I don't think it's their business. It's a lot to handle. Since my husband passed, are there any other options? Also, I have some life insurance that I do not know what to do next.
Okay. So we get this from time to time. They want to be very self-sufficient. They want to be able to handle their own money, and that's okay. That's fine. You need to have something in place if something does happen to you, that your children do know what your wishes are and that can be executed. We do help with that. We've been in multiple stages of trying to help people throughout this and explain to children. It's part of our job, and it's part of our pleasure. We want you to have the safety and security of your own finances. You've earned it over the years. It's your money. We get that, and we respect that. As far as the life insurance, so the life insurance, you just need to make sure that the beneficiaries are in place.
Okay.
So we need to get together and review that with you each year, just to make sure that you have the beneficiaries and the contingency beneficiaries in place, and that way we can help execute your wishes as well.
Thank you, Rob. I know a lot of people are very private about their finances. They don't want their children to know anything.
I don't. Do you?
No, I never tell her
That's not their
anything.
business.
And my parents never told me anything. I had no idea. So I can totally understand that viewer question. Absolutely.
My parents go a little bit further. They said, "Don't worry about me running out of money before I die," or "Don't worry about your inheritance. Don't just worry about me running out of money before I die." So we would take care of them.
And I take care of every dime, so we better watch it.
I love it. I love it. Well, Kristina, this next one is for you. Kristina and Rob, how long should I make sure to have? How long should I make sure to have if market loses to gain it back and to stay on track?
Okay, so this is probably one of the main concerns that we've had here for about a year or so. Folks, we're going to have bear markets. If you've not heard that phrase before, I want you to think about a bear in hibernation. That's when the market is down. The bull market, if you hear that, that's when it's up, like the bull horns are charging. So a bear market, you should expect about every 5 to 7 years to be in a bear. Now, if you look backward, let's just go back a couple of bear markets. We all remember 2008. That was a nasty bear market. I mean, we're over 700 days and nearly 50%, sometimes more for other portfolios that were more risky. And then if you look back at the one prior to that, we had just been in the big dot-com of the late 90s and everything was booming. And then boom, 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 2000 through 2002, we had 3 years of a bear market. What do you do if that happens right before you retire or when you're in retirement? Well, you plan for that. This is the question that you need to ask. What is my risk tolerance? How much stress can I take? How much risk can I take with market volatility? And if you're not comfortable losing, we need to talk more about a safe bucket. Most people want some type of a safe bucket in retirement, but that's not where everything should be. We still want to have some growth, so there's an opportunity to put the money over in the market, and we're going to manage the bottom side. For a lot of advisors out there, we look like superstars when we're in a bull run, and we have been for 13 years. I want to look like a superstar for you because we'll manage the bottom side. We'll manage that risk and make sure that you don't lose more than what you're comfortable with. That's going to come with continual meetings, making sure that everything is in order, and again, a good, solid, written plan.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, we only have about a minute and a half left, but we have one more question. It says, Rob, I am 5 years away from retirement. Should I pay off my mortgage or let it go?
Most of the time, do not pay that mortgage off. So we have a mortgage rate right now that most people have, a really good rate.
Yeah.
And their salaries are at such a level. Why put yourself in a new tax bracket? You've got to be mindful of these things or it's going to bite you.
Sure.
You don't want to lose money, and this is one way you can severely lose money.
All right, Rob, thank you so much.
Not necessarily on the mortgage about pulling from an account and paying those extra taxes, but I also think that you're leaving points on the table. You know, if you only have a 3% interest rate and you could earn 5% in the market, you just left 2 points on the table. So if you can actually earn more, we want to make sure that you're not losing that opportunity for those earnings. I don't agree with some of the motivational speakers out there that say that you should have no debt. Most people do have debt, and mortgage is a good debt. Having that conversation about good and bad debt, that's a whole other conversation.
Right, right. Well, Kristina, thank you so much for another amazing episode. And Rob, as always, thank you so much as well. To the viewers at home, we'd like to thank you for your viewer questions. We love hearing from you. Please keep those coming. That number to call is 877-893-5099. For all of your retirement-related questions, Kristina and Rob have the answers for you. Grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV with Kristina and Rob 𝗵𝗺𝗃. Take care.